Welcome back, everyone, to the Bears Probably Plays YouTube channel. Today is Tuesday, July 23rd, and I'm back breaking down a few more plays in the MLB for tonight. We're going to be looking at the Pittsburgh Pirates going up against the Cardinals with the first play of the day. The second play of the day is going to be between the Brewers and the Cubs, a rivalry matchup as the best play of the day. 2 total game picks, 4 total player props, and as always, the 2 best player props would be towards the end of the video. I hope everybody has a great Tuesday, and let's break down some ball. All right, guys, let's take a look at this graphic from Monday night. I am recording about 9:30. The last couple games are not finished yet, but I got to record right now. Tigers money line against the Guardians. Basically a no-sweat bet after the 4 runs the Guardians gave up in the first 2 innings. Tariq Skubal didn't have his best stuff tonight, but it was good enough. He didn't allow many people to score, only 1 run allowed in 7 innings. Tyler O'Neill, over 1.5 bases, minus 135. Didn't matter if he had over 1.5, 2.5. He got 2 fastballs against Austin. Sent the first one for the double. Second one, he just lined into right field for a single. So we did catch that one as well. Tyler Anderson under 2.5 runs. Did just catch the first inning. He struggled. He only gave up 1 run, but it could have been a lot worse. He needed to settle himself down for us to cash all 3 of the best bets today. The Phillies and the Twins, late start. They just started. We got 2 runs on the Phillies in the first inning, so that one's looking really good. Trey Turner also got a single in that first inning, so over 1.5 bases looking pretty good as well. And then Matt Vierling over 1.5 bases. I think he had 3 hits. I watched the entire game. Double, single, strikeout, double, or something like that. And the double, his second double was really impressive. He had showed off the speed. So far, 3-0 day on the day. Hopefully we get a couple more wins before the night ends. Let's take a look at the leaderboard. 1-0 on the game pick, 1-0 on the player prop so far for the best bets. 9-2 run over the last 4 days after the All-Star break. Let's keep on keeping on. And we're going to start with the Pittsburgh Pirates going up against the St. Louis Cardinals. We're going to have Mr. Paul Skeens back on the mound, and I'm going to trust him in this game, taking the Pirates on the first 5 miles and a half play. He's going to get a matchup going up against Lance Lynn and the Cardinals, and I do think he's going to dominate once again like he's been doing all season long. I thought about maybe taking the over in this game as well because the Cardinals are pretty good at hitting right-handed pitching. The only problem with that, taking the over, is that Paul Skeens, he's been the best arm in baseball over the last month and a half. There are very few teams who have been able to hit him this season, and I don't think the Cardinals are going to all of a sudden become one of the best hitting teams in baseball. The numbers for Skeens this season, they've been video game-like numbers, coming in the 1.90 ERA, a 0.90 whip. His rookie season. We've now seen him in 11 total games for the Pittsburgh Pirates, 14 runs given up, 6-0 perfect record, and over the last month and a half, he has been wheeling and dealing, giving up 1 run or less in 5 of the last 6 appearances, not giving up more than 2 runs in any game since May 29th. Paul Skeens has also been striking out a ton of people over the last month and a half, having no less than 7 strikeouts in the last 9 games. So if you like the strikeouts, take him in this game. He should be able to shut down the Cardinals. And I'm not going to mess around with the bullpens in this game. Just give me them minus 0.5 in the first 5 innings. The matchup for the Pirates bats is going to be up against Lance Lynn. He was very bad 2 starts ago going up against my Nationals in the game. 9 hits, 11 total runs, 10 earned runs, 3 home runs going up against one of the worst hitting teams in baseball. And yes, I said the Washington Nationals are one of the worst teams in baseball at hitting the ball. It hurts me, but I have to say it because it's the truth. And Lance Lynn over the last couple games, he's been getting beaten up as well, giving up 3+ runs in 4 of the last 6. And I know the Pirates aren't anything special on offense, but with the way Paul Skeens has been throwing the ball, we might only need 1 run in this one to get the job done. Give me the Pirates minus 0.5 on the first 5 as the play. For the graphic play on the screen, we're going to take Brian Reynolds because he's been a big part of the Pirates, putting up a lot of runs over the last several days. Brian Reynolds has had a hot bat all season long, but over the last month, it's gotten even better. Now coming in with a 288 batting average on the year. This is going to be a right-handed matchup, and against the right side, he is even better, hitting 291, having 31 extra base hits the year. Over the last 5 days, Brian Reynolds has been destroying teams, collecting at least 2 hits in 4 of the last 5 games, having a total of 11 hits over the last 5 games as well. Lance Lynn, he has been giving up a few too many hits in my mind, so I'm going to take Brian Reynolds in this one to stay hot over 1.5 bases as the play there. Let's go over to the best play of the day, a little rivalry matchup here. The Brewers going up against the Cubbies. I said this on the member side a couple days ago whenever I broke down the Cubs with Kyle Hendricks on the mound, but I have to know, there's got to be a lot of Chicago Cubs fans out there. They're faithful. They're a loyal fan base. I can't imagine being a Cubs fan, man. That has to be one of the most frustrating franchises in baseball because sometimes they look like they can compete with anybody, and then sometimes it looks like they don't even deserve to be on the field. Sometimes they can score 10+ runs per game in a series. Sometimes they can't even score 1 run in a 3-game series. Everything from the pitching to the hitting this season, the Cubs, they've been on a roller coaster ride, and I don't think they're going to be very competitive in this game either going up against the Brewers, even though they are the favorites. I'm taking the more consistent team. Give me the Brewers on the money line on the road to win this game against the Cubs. The Brewers are going to be throwing out Colin Ray, who has been very good for them over the last month. He just needs to get rid of the occasional bad game over the last month and a half, he has gone 8 games giving up 2 runs or less for the Brewers, but he's also had 2 games in there against the Pirates and the Padres where he gave up a total of 12 runs in those 2 games alone. If you add up all the other runs that he gave up over the last 8 games besides those 2 games, he's given up a total of 10 runs in the other 8 games. So he is performing very well. He just needs to get rid of those very bad starts. He is still coming in with a 3.77 ERA and a 1.21 whip. Those are pretty good numbers on the season. And with the way the Cubs have been hitting the ball all season long, I don't think he's going to have any problem in this game. He's already gone up against the Cubs twice over the last month, and in both those games, he went 5+ innings. He gave up a total of 8 hits, 3 runs to the Cubs in the 2 games. And the big thing in those games was that the Brewers, they took the win, winning both games by 2+ runs. On the other side, the Cubs are going to try to counter with Jameson Taillon. And just like Colin, he's had a pretty good month and a half of baseball. He's just got to get rid of the bad games as well. He's coming in with a 3.10 ERA and a 1.16 whip, and you can make the argument that he's going to be the better pitcher on the mound, but I can definitely make the argument that the Brewers are the far better hitting team in this one from the Cubs all season long. The Brewers against right-handed pitching are one of the best teams in baseball as well, hitting .257 on the year, and the Cubs, they're nowhere close to that number. The pitching matchup, it's going to be close. It's going to be a close battle. Once we get to the bullpen for the Cubs, this game's going to be over. The Brewers, they've got the better bats. I'm taking them in this game to outscore the Cubs. Give me the Brewers on the money line, plus money as the play there. For the player prop on the screen, we're going to take Christian Yelich to go over 1.5 bases going up against the Cubbies. This is going to be the best player on the field for this game on both sides, and it helps that Christian Yelich, he's hitting the ball like he's back in 2018 and 19 for the Brewers. He's coming in with a .320 batting average. That's the 3rd best batting average in the major leagues. He's hitting well over 300 on both sides of the plate as well, and it's going to be a right-handed match for him, and he does have more power on that side, hitting .317 on the season, 19 extra base hits. And if we were to see a home run out of Christian Yelich, it'll most likely be against a right-handed pitcher. I'm not taking him to have a ton of power in this game. I'm just looking for his usual couple singles like he's been doing his entire season. So give me his over 1.5 bases here as the play against Taillon. For the best player props of the day, we're going to be sticking in that Boston Red Sox game going up against the Rockies. This time we're going to take Jarren Duran to go over 1.5 bases against the Rockies. I love everything about this play because, once again, we're going to be in Colorado. The elevation is going to help us out a little bit. And I'm almost positive this actually might be over 2.5 base because tonight, Duran, he was -140. So that's a little bit too juiced in my opinion. So I'll probably just play this over 2.5 base depending on what it comes out at. Not only, though, has Duran been one of the best players for the Red Sox, especially with the bat in his hand this season, he's also getting a very friendly pitching matchup in the game. It's going to be German Marquez on the mound for the Rockies, and we have only seen him one time this season. It was a week ago going up against the Mets. In that game, he gave up 5 hits in 4 innings, giving up 3 runs and 4 home runs as well. He's coming in with a 6.75 ERA and a 2.25 whip. And the big reason I love the matchup in this game is because his 3 favorite pitches that he throws every single game and every single season are the 3 best pitches that Jarren Duran has hit this year. He's going to throw the fastball, slider, and sinker 80% of the time in this game. And the numbers on the season for Duran, they're great for all 3 of those pitches. He's seeing the fastball 278 this year, +4 run value. The sinker 443 with a +6 run value. And finally, the slider, maybe the best pitch of all of them, hitting 282 with a +6 run value. And teams are throwing him those pitches 65% of the time. He's going to have a lot of opportunities in this game to get the pitch he wants to hit. And what makes it even better with a cherry on top is that it's going to be a left against right matchup. And against right-handed pitching, he's one of the best on the team as well. Give me his over 1.5 bases. Play it up to over 2.5 bases as the play there. For the pitching prop tonight, we're going to go over to the Atlanta Braves, take Chris Sale under 2.5 runs allowed going up against the Reds. The Reds on Monday night, they did have a little bit better night with the bats in their hand. I think they had 4 runs in the first 5 innings against the Braves. I don't think we're going to see a lot of hits in this game out of them tonight with Chris Sale on the mound going up against the lefty. The Reds this season, they're towards the bottom in baseball. Bottom 10 this year in batting average against left-handed pitching, coming in with a 238 batting average. And for some reason, they just can't seem to hit lefties very well, even though they go up against them a lot. They see lefties the 4th most in the major leagues, and they still can't hit them. You would think with all the reps that they've gotten this year, they would be better at hitting them, but they just aren't. The numbers continue to decline. As a team, they have 261 strikeouts compared to just 243 hits against left-handed pitching. And this team, they cannot hit the slider. If you've never watched Chris Sale pitch, I hope that tonight you clear up some space on that calendar and you watch this game because Chris Sale has maybe the best slider in MLB history. And whenever he's on his game, it's nearly untouchable, and he throws it nearly 40% of the time as well. I'm getting all these numbers on Baseball Savant, so you guys go look these numbers up yourself. The Cincinnati Reds this season, they only have 4 total players who have a run value above 0 against the slider this year. Tyler Stevenson and Spencer Steer are the 2 best players going up against the slider, but as a team, they only have 2 players who are hitting the slider above 250 this season. They also have a very bad strikeout rate going up against that slider. So if you're looking for Chris Sale strikeouts tonight, I also think that's a very good play because they have 11 players at the major league level who strike out above 30% of the time off of the slider. I think we're going to see the Cincinnati Reds struggle in this one against Chris Sale. Give me the under 2.5 runs allowed as the best play of the day there. Let's go over to the graphic for tomorrow. We're going to take the Pirates on the first 5 -1/2 going up against the Cardinals. Paul Skeens, we trust. Brian Reynolds over 1.5 bases going up against the Cardinals as well. Christian Yelich over 1.5 bases going up against the Cubbies. And the Brewers on the money line, they're going to be plus money. I trust the bats more than the Cubs. Jarren Duran over 1.5 bases, played up to 2.5 bases going up against the Rockies. And then Chris Sale under 2.5 runs going up against the Reds, who struggle against the slider. Guys, that's going to do it for the MLB picks and props for Tuesday, July 23rd slate of games. If you guys enjoyed the content, please be sure to drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel below. See you guys next video, and thanks for watching.